On this video, we're going to talk about how you manage a property, an inherited property, with your siblings, but at the same time minimizing conflict. I see it all the time, so let's get to it right now. And I'm Mike Gallagher, and if this is your first time to my channel and you want to learn everything about the Utah probate process, you've come to the right channel. You might tap that subscribe button down below. Also, if you hit that bell notification, you'll be notified every time I release a new video. And we've been helping so many people all over the state, and we absolutely love it. I'm a Utah real estate agent that specializes in selling probate homes. So if I can be of any assistance, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I got your back in Utah. So you're going to inherit a home with your siblings. Maybe that cabin up in the mountains, maybe the home down the road, maybe a portfolio of rental properties. And now it's time to work with all your siblings. Sometimes it goes just great, but sometimes it doesn't. Not all families get along well. Some do, some don't. Not all siblings are on the same level on what to do with inherited real estate. Maybe some want to turn it into a vacation home. Maybe some want to rent it. And maybe some would like to sell the property. In some cases, parents just assumed that the siblings would get along. There would be no issues. And with that, they did not plan or prepare any kind of resolution if there was conflict with managing or owning the assets. So what options do we have so that the siblings will get along with an inherited home? First and most important, if you're sharing a property or you're going to transfer a home to someone else, is to be transparent with your siblings. Let them know everything that is going on. This will help you save relationships further down the road. If we're talking about a home, there are several options to make sure that each person's needs are met. So your inherited home, maybe you decide you don't want to sell it. You would rather share it with other siblings. This can be done with an agreement. You would actually create a partnership agreement with all the siblings. In this agreement, you can determine how often you get to use this home. Who takes priority, let's say like on holiday weekends, Christmas, Thanksgiving, etc. What kind of system is going to be in place to who gets priority access to the property? And also, you can determine about guest privileges. Would you like guests there or not? While we're talking about guest privileges, a couple things to put in your partnership agreement. One would be the usage of the property. What can it be used for and what can it not be used for? And another big one is how many guests can stay at the property. Do you just want 2 or 3 people, or would you allow 50 people to come stay at the property? Put that in writing now so you can avoid any kind of conflict. And another important element of any kind of agreement would be an agreement on maintenance and repairs and other expenses on the property. Now, this could be divided based on what the actual ownership percentage is. Some people throughout their lifetime will actually set up a fund to pay these expenses. That is one option that you can do. I think it's so important to set this up in your agreement. After all, when you do need a new roof or the HVAC system goes bad and you need it repaired, you might have some siblings that do not have the spare cash to get the needed repairs done. You can also set up which vendors will be required to do the repairs. Maybe you've got some siblings that want to just get the cheapest person there is, and you've got some other siblings that would like to hire someone who costs a little bit more money, maybe a little bit better quality of parts. You can set this all up in the agreement so when a repair is needed, it's spelled out in the contract who will be performing those repairs. So in your agreement, you may want to determine what happens, who inherits the property, when the siblings pass it along further down the road in next generations. Will it go from maybe 1 or 2, 3 owners to 5, 6, 7, 8 owners? For example, let's say I gifted it to my 4 kids. Well, you might go from 4 owners to 8 owners. So maybe you don't want to set up an agreement with the siblings. There are some other options. Let's talk about structuring a buyout. Maybe one of the siblings lives in another part of the state or in another state or even in another country, and they cannot participate in being a partial owner in a home. They might prefer cash versus ownership, or maybe some other assets versus ownership. Well, the executor possibly can take some of the other assets from the estate and allocate it to that person in exchange for their ownership in the home. So if the estate does not have assets available to give to another sibling in exchange for their ownership in the home, then one or more of the other siblings can come with an agreement and use their own funds to buy out that particular individual. One of the most popular strategies that I come across is where the estate will sell the property and split the proceeds among the siblings. So if nobody wants the property or the vacation home or the cabin up in the mountains, then the simplest solution is to just sell the property and split the profits. I'd recommend that the estate sells the property at fair market value, not at a discounted value. Sometimes when you do it at a discounted value, you might get arguments from other siblings that it was not fair. You have another option. You can rent the home and split the profits. Let's take a closer look at what that entails. So let's assume nobody wants the home. Maybe it's a vacation home. None of the siblings are interested in using the vacation home. Well, you could turn it all into an investment. Rent the property, get money every month from the property. To do this, I'd recommend you set it up as a business entity. Talk to a tax professional so you can find out what tax deductions you can take on the home and what you can't. And they can also help you with projected cash flow for each month that you have the home. You'll need some kind of agreement in writing. Some of the things you might want to consider. Who will maintain the property for repairs, etc.? Are you going to hire it out, or is the family members going to take care of it? Do you hire a property manager or not? Are you going to rent the property out for short-term rental like Airbnb, VRBO, or long-term rental where someone stays in it for a year or 2 years? And another important thing is how you will save money for needed repairs, especially when you need HVAC work or roof repairs or hot water heaters, some of the more costly repairs, carpet and paint. How will money be allocated for those particular repairs? And my tip on written agreements, it's sometimes best to get written agreements done early in the process when most of the family members are getting along. So in conclusion, I hope this helps you with some of the decisions you have to make. If you do have any kind of questions, by all means, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Until the next video, take care and stay safe.